That means
Titans are 9-8.
What? The Titans lose 4 of the next 5?
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dorm Debate Podcast. What a crazy way to end week 13. If you guys saw last night's game on Monday night, we're filming this on Tuesday. The Patriots-Bills was a complete blizzard. Winds over 20 to 25 miles an hour. All they did was run the ball. And basically, the winner showed that they have the best run game. Between the two. The Patriots ended up winning. Mac Jones threw for 3 pass attempts, end up winning the game against the Bills. And now they are in sole possession of the AFC East, but also sole possession of first place in the AFC. Now, with week 13 gone, we're looking ahead to week 14, but we're also going to have a special playoff edition episode. So not only will we be looking at week 14, but we're trying to look all the way ahead 5 weeks from now into the NFL playoffs. So without further ado, I say we get right into it for the AFC. I do want to remind everybody that last year they did change the playoff rules. So I just want to remind everyone that there are now 14 teams that make the playoffs, 7 from the AFC, 7 from the NFC. And there's an extra wildcard spot, meaning there are 3 wildcard spots up for grabs. And only the number 1 seed gets a first round bye. The second seed does not get a first round bye. So looking to the AFC, and we'll talk about the AFC or the NFC after. We're looking at the 4 division leaders. Now, for everyone listening on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts and Alexa Media Player, we're going to try and do our best to help you visualize this. So it's not just a bunch of teams and records we're listing off. If you do want to see that, I'm going to post in this YouTube episode, I'm going to post a picture of the standings and whatnot, so you get a better idea of it. So with the AFC, the division leaders are the Patriots, Titans, Ravens, and Chiefs. And in the 3 wildcard spots, we have the Chargers, Bengals, and Bills. And on the bubble, you have a lot of teams: Steelers, Colts, Raiders, Browns, Broncos, Dolphins. And then I eliminated 3 teams. Technically, only 1 team has been eliminated, and it's the Texans. But I also eliminated the Jags and the Jets. So they won't be a part of our discussion. Do you guys disagree that the Jets and Jags will make the playoffs or won't?
I agree. And we could even go a little bit further to the Broncos and Dolphins and say they're...
Let's wait there.
You think this Dolphins win streak is really going that far?
Honestly, Dolphins could make the playoffs and kick out the Bills.
Oh, gosh.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. With the schedule they have left, they could do it.
Jonathan and I are on the same wavelength. I don't know what happened.
Are you on something tonight?
We didn't even talk about it, but we're on the same wavelength right now. So I guess we'll start off with the division leaders. Out of the 4 that I said, the Patriots, Titans, Ravens, and Chiefs. John, we'll start off with you. Do you think any of those 4 teams have locked their position for division winners?
I mean, the only one, it's really tough to say because obviously we still have 5 weeks to go. But I think the 2 that are most likely to keep their spot at the top of the division are the Chiefs and the Titans. And I know the Bills, the Patriots have 2 more wins than the Bills, and the Bills have 1 more loss. But the Patriots and Bills play again before the season ends. They play in week 16. So the Patriots, they have to play the Colts after their bye week, and then they play the Bills, Jaguars, Dolphins. Assuming they beat Jaguars and Dolphins, they would have to lose to the Colts, and the Bills would have to basically win out for the Bills to retake the division. So I think the Patriots are pretty much locked for their division. I wouldn't 100% say that yet, but I think Patriots, Titans, and Chiefs, I think they're going to win their divisions. I think if any of them, I think Ravens have the biggest chance to lose the division lead.
Yeah. I agree with the Patriots and the Chiefs, but I think the Titans is where I differ. Jonathan,
You think
you think the same?
Yeah, I think the same.
you think the Colts can overtake them in the division though?
Colts are really hot right now. Okay, they've got things figured out from an offensive perspective, leaning on Jonathan Taylor in the offensive line and the run game. And their defense has started to figure things out as well. I mean, after all, they beat the Bills like 41-15, right?
Yep.
And so they're on a hot streak, and they're going up. So they could easily overtake the Titans as the division leader.
No, that the reason it's not going to happen is because look, the Colts are 7-6, Titans are 8-4, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and the Titans have the tiebreaker because they beat the Colts twice, right?
The Titans would have to go 1-3 in the next 4 games.
Yeah, they can't. Did you see who they're playing? They're playing Jaguars, Steelers, 49ers, Dolphins, Texans. That's
So
like
here's my thing. I think they win one of those. I think they win the Jags, and that's it.
You don't think they beat the Texans?
Nope, because the Texans already beat them. It's already proven that they can lose to
Okay,
them. And
you think they're going to lose to the Dolphins?
yes, the Dolphins are one of the hottest teams right now.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Are you guys? What are you on tonight?
Okay, here's
What?
I was going through this. I was going through this, and immediately off the bat, I was like, Titans 8-4. There's no way. They don't have Derrick Henry. They just lost to the Patriots. Then they lost to the Texans. I know they have the easiest remaining schedule, but they lost to the Texans, and the Texans are on their schedule. So it's definitely not as easy as it seems. And I looked at the last 3 games for the Titans. They are 27th in points per game, and they let up the 4th most points to opponents. And you look at their division rival, the Colts, they're number 1 in points per game in the last 3 games, and they're 6th, only let up 17 points per game. So they are playing at the highest level, while the Texans are now playing at their worst that they've ever played this season.
Okay, but hear me out. So the Colts are 7-6, Titans are 8-4. So the Colts get a bye week this week. Then they play Patriots, Cardinals, Raiders, Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's safe to say they're going to lose one, whether it's the Patriots or Cardinals, maybe the Raiders, probably not. But let's say they lose one. Okay.
Yep. 10-7.
So that's 10-7. So you're saying that the Titans can't win 3 of their next 5? You don't think they could win 3 of these games? Jaguars, Steelers, 49ers, Dolphins, Texans.
They can.
Yeah, they're not going to win
3. They can,
but they won't.
I just don't know. I mean,
there's
nothing looks up for them.
What do you mean? Julio Jones is coming back this week. AJ Brown is going to come off IR in like 2 weeks.
But they're getting Tannehill's regressing. He's not playing.
He's regressing.
No, that's because he doesn't have his receivers. And now that they got Hilliard and Foreman, they got some run game. You're going to see some impressive offense this week and impressive defense.
The only thing that the Titans have right now is the tiebreaker between the Colts. Like, I know that the Titans not making the playoffs is a long shot, but for them to have the tiebreaker against the Colts does put the Colts at a disadvantage. But I think the Titans are playing so bad and the Colts are playing their best that in my head, I would rather see the Colts get the number 2 or get their division win rather than seeing the Titans scrape by, get their top spot, get a home game, and they're just going to get blown out by whatever wild card team they face. Like,
yeah, but you're basically saying that the Colts are going to win out. You think they're going to beat Patriots, Cardinals, Raiders, and Jags?
They're number 1 in points per game. I mean, it's possible. It's very possible.
But they're getting a little lucky because this is when Jonathan Taylor's like really showing himself. But guys, Wentz can't throw. I've been trying to tell you guys, like the Patriots, the Cardinals, they're going to stop the run and they're going to be like, Wentz is going to throw a bunch of interceptions in those games.
No, he's not terrible. And in terms of the Titans, by the way, okay, so they may be the Jags, right? The Steelers are fighting for that.
No, I'm just saying they're gonna beat the Jaguars, the Dolphins, and the Texans. So all they have to do is win either Steelers or 49ers, which are both winnable.
I don't think they're gonna win the Dolphins.
Yeah, the Dolphins.
What?
The Dolphins?
Wait, Dolphins?
You must not be high on the Dolphins at all.
No, I'm not. The Dolphins stink.
They've won 5 straight.
against Giants, Panthers, Jets, Texans, and then the only good one was Ravens.
As long as Tua is there, then that means Waddle's going to get more targets, and
don't
Waddle's
hype them up too
playing.
much. They don't hype them up too much. They play the Jets next week. They might lose.
Well, Jonathan,
no, it's right. They're right there. They know they're right there.
Dude, the Dolphins play the Jets, then Saints, Titans, Patriots. They can't make the playoffs.
Well,
So
let me ask this, since we're kind of differing on the Titans and Colts. Anybody else have a lock for divisions? So like right now we have Patriots and Chiefs as our locks, but that's the only one we can say confidently.
Okay. Well, what do you guys think about the AFC North? Do you think I think the Bengals are going to overtake the Ravens? What do you guys?
I also agree with that. I think the Bengals will overtake the Ravens.
Right.
Because that's good.
The Ravens just lost Marlon Humphrey.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the schedule.
Dude, they couldn't stop Deontay Johnson. That's the only guy that the Steelers throw to. How do you not stop the only guy?
Yeah. No. In terms of their schedule, they face the Browns, Packers, Bengals, Rams, Steelers.
Yeah, you're losing. You're going to lose to the Packers. You're going to lose to the Rams Packers, Bengals, Rams. You'd be actually lucky to win 2 of those 3, like really lucky.
But at the same time, Bengals also have a difficult last 5 games, I think. I mean, the Broncos are pretty easy, but
49ers, Broncos, Browns, they could beat. It's just Chiefs and Ravens. All they have to do is win one of those. And they would probably have the tiebreak because if they beat the Ravens again,
it could happen. But I'm still gonna pick the Ravens to win.
So Jared, what do you think is more likely, that the Colts overtake the Titans or that the Bengals overtake the Ravens?
Well, obviously the Bengals, because of the way it works out. They're closer in rank in the record.
Right.
Strength of schedule. The Bengals have an easier. They're 6th in the remaining strength of schedule, and the Ravens have the 2nd. So just going off that, I mean, obviously they have a way better chance, but I would like to see the Colts be rewarded with the second or with the a division rather than the Titans barely holding on in the last couple games because they beat the Jags and the Texans, and then they're just going to get blown out. But if by a chance that the Titans make it, that means when you look back and let's just say the Ravens, Bengals, it can go either way. But if you look at those 3 wildcard spots right now, I don't think the Chargers overtake the Chiefs. So the Chargers got to be in there.
Right.
I don't think the Bills overtake the Patriots. So the Bills have to be in there.
Right.
And then it's Bengals, Ravens.
Right.
Who are battling for that division. So it's going to be one of them. The Colts.
One
of those teams are going to be left out.
Are you saying that Titans are going to be out of the playoffs?
It's very much possible.
No.
It's very much possible.
About that. I don't know about that.
Well, wait, Jonathan, then if you think the Colts are going to win the division, and the Titans still make the playoffs, then either Chargers, Bengals, Bills, or Ravens get out. So which one do you think misses?
Either Chargers, Ravens, Bengals, or who else?
Or Bills.
Or Bills. Yeah, Bills are going to get out.
Bills have a high. You threw a softball.
Yeah. Bills have a high possibility of not making.
Why would you say that?
Well,
dude, they have it. They play the Bucs and the Patriots. So other than those, they play Panthers, Falcons, Jets. That's 3 wins. They're at least 3-2 the rest of the year. That means, again, the Colts would have to only lose 1 game max, and they still wouldn't have the tiebreaker. I don't think.
So
because the Bills destroyed
the Patriots.
Oh no, they destroyed the Bills, but
I think they could lose 3. I think they could lose 3 of their last 5 games.
They could,
and
yeah.
The AFC is so close where, every game counts. So I'm saying it's very likely that they could, miss this because other hot teams like the Colts are trying to get first in the division. But if they don't, they may get that last spot. But if Titans end up losing that division, they're probably going to get that last spot. So if you look at across the division in the AFC, the Bills are trending downwards. And you don't want to be trending downwards right now because a lot of teams in the AFC are vying to make the playoffs, like the Dolphins, Colts, Titans may end up second seed as well, like I said. So I think they're trending downwards. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Panthers, that's a game I think they could lose. That's a game I think they could lose. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs.
All right. So
and honestly, I don't think they were expecting it to come down to this. I think they thought they were going to win the division because last year the Patriots weren't good. They thought it was going to be the same thing, but nope. Bill Belichick had other plans. Okay, that's why he's the greatest coach ever. And so now they're caught in this situation where they're fighting for a playoff spot, which could very likely not happen. And so I blame the coach for this. I blame Bill McDermott, that's his name, or Sean McDermott. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sean, right? Yeah, I blame him for this. How could you let it come down to this? Right? They should be winning the division right now, but they let it. They've lost games that they shouldn't have lost. Jags, right? Like we mentioned, the Colts. They lost big time at home like that. So they've lost games they shouldn't have lost, which has put them in this situation.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you that they should be like Jaguars, the Steelers in the first game of the season.
Yeah,
Colts
exactly.
should have been a lot closer. I don't think it's a huge problem in terms of making playoffs. I still think they're going to make the playoffs, but I think in the playoffs that concerns me. Like I know we're going to do a playoff bracket special podcast. I don't think I'm going to have the Bills going that far. If you can't put your head down and win these games that you're supposed to win, that doesn't bode well for the playoffs.
Exactly. And then losing again, we keep on saying this, losing to the Jags. I'm saying in the next 5 games, they could lose 3 easily.
They could. They definitely could.
So, I wouldn't be surprised. Who knows? Jets, Falcons, Panthers, one of those guys could surprise the Bills again. And so I think that's going to happen. So remember this day, December 7th. I claim that the Bills will not make the playoffs.
Damn.
So, okay. So before we go over to the NFC, can you just give me the 7 teams? Doesn't have to be in order. Just what 7 teams do you think are going to make the playoffs in the AFC? Doesn't have to be in order of the standings. Just 7 teams. There's a list them out.
I listed mine out. So I put them in order. So.
Oh, okay.
I did a little bit extra. So I got the Patriots at number 1. They'll go 12-5. I got the Chiefs, unfortunately, going 12-5. And I say unfortunately because John predicted this, and sometimes I just hate when you're right.
I remember that video that you posted. I was like, I think everybody's gonna forget the first 7 games of the season, and everybody commented, "Oh, that's the worst take you've had," because I said they're gonna be the 1 or 2 seed in the AFC, and looks like they could.
Caleb really said it best, where it's the top 2 coaches in the AFC end up on top. I don't think that's a fluke. That's
true.
That's just how it is. You had to have. I should have known that Andy Reid, one of the best coaches of all time, should get this thing right and steer it. But I didn't think
don't know if he's gotten it right yet.
Yeah, but I mean, just the defense alone is I cannot believe it looks totally different.
Well, because remember I said Chris Jones and Travarius Ward, they didn't have that. They didn't have them. So that's a big difference. And Melvin Ingram.
They don't play anybody.
They don't play anybody. They
just
played
beat
the Broncos.
And the
Broncos, are you kidding me?
Broncos beat the Cowboys.
All right, well, come on. Well, that was a whiff. I mean,
here's the thing though, is they were losing to the Chargers. They were losing to the Raiders, or who did they lose to? They just lost to bad teams before. And now they're just absolutely crushing them. And I just can't stop denying it.
They're going to destroy the Raiders.
I tried to hold off as much as possible, but they're going to go 12-5.
Yeah.
And they'll be second.
Okay.
Then I have the Bengals going 11-6. And then I have the Colts finishing 10-7. So they'll be finishing 3-1 on the season. They'll beat the Patriots. They'll beat the Cardinals back-to-back weeks on prime time.
Okay.
Then I have the Chargers and the Bills both are 10-7. Those will be the first two wild card spots. I don't know what the tiebreaker is for them, so it could flip either way.
Okay.
And the last wild card spot.
Either you have Titans or Ravens.
I have the Dolphins.
No. Jared, don't do this to yourself. You don't want people looking back on this, looking that you picked the Dolphins.
I think they don't lose another game from now.
Why are you laughing when you say this? Because you know it's
because I know it's freaking crazy, but it's what I feel.
They could beat the Jets, right?
The Ravens and the Titans are the first two to miss out on the playoffs, and the Titans go.
Wait. If the Dolphins win out,
yeah,
they'll be 10-7.
Yeah,
they would have to beat Titans and Patriots. Okay,
yeah,
Titans in the state they're in, they could maybe get advantage of the Patriots. So you're saying at the Ravens at 8-4 don't win two more games. They play Browns, Packers, Bengals, Rams, Steelers.
I think the only winnable game that's confident is the Browns. Other than that, all those games, because the Steelers are going to be fighting for a spot, they could possibly lose to them. You know, they actually just lost to them this week. So it's...
No, well, wait. But you forgot about the Titans. That means Titans
are 9-8.
What the Titans lose 4 of the next 5?
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
I'm telling you, the Titans are really, really bad. They are really, really bad. So if I had to, for my future self to save me, my backup would be Ravens, but I am standing.
You think Titans get out?
I'm standing tall with the Titans being out.
Okay.
The Dolphins are going to be just my all the way bet. But if the Dolphins don't make it, then I would replace it with the Ravens. So it would be Chargers, Bills, Ravens in my final, or Chargers, Bills, Dolphins. Titans are going to be the first team out, along with Steelers, Ravens, Broncos, Raiders, whatever. But yeah, so those are my 7. We got Patriots, Chiefs, Bengals, Colts, and then Chargers, Bills, Dolphins, Ravens will flip. But the first team out.
But your guess is Dolphins.
I'm gonna stand tall, and I'm gonna say Dolphins. But just to save myself in case they lose to the Jets, then I'm gonna say the Ravens as a quick replacement.
Okay, Jonathan, what are your 7?
Number 1 seed, Patriots. Number 2, I'm gonna go with the Ravens.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You think they're the 2nd seed? Jared thinks they get out?
Yeah, they're gonna end up.
One of you is so wrong.
Well, the one thing I say,
Lamar Jackson,
Jonathan, which games do you think he's gonna win?
Well, I'll say one thing, that Lamar is not playing well. He is playing very, very bad.
He threw 4 interceptions against the Browns, bro.
Yeah.
That was a bad game. But believe me, when it's time to shine to make the playoffs, he's gonna come.
Are you kidding me?
You've said that Lamar doesn't shine.
Yeah, you always say that.
In the playoffs, he doesn't shine. But
getting into the playoffs, he shines.
Oh yeah.
So one thing before Jonathan,
he has a different mindset. He has a dog mindset. He's gonna find a way to win, and I'm confident he's gonna find a way to win. And
one thing I do want to say before you go, Jonathan, is that John and I both predicted a dip in the Ravens season. Is it coming up? It's got to be coming up right now.
We said right now, this is the time. Remember, I think we said when they start hitting those divisional games, because remember they were like really good, and we were like, they haven't played any divisional games other than the Ravens and they lost, or the Bengals and they lost. So we're like, they're gonna go Steelers, Browns, Packers, Bengals, Rams, Steelers. Like, that's really tough stretch.
Yep, and losing Marlon Humphrey, I think maybe
that's just the nail in the coffin.
It'll break the camel's back.
He's a good player. He's not
their secondary has been trash when he's there, and now he's not. Oh my gosh, they're going to be so bad.
I think the bigger story is the Ravens will be able to score points against these guys. They're going to beat the Browns, the Packers. They're going to make that game interesting. I think they'll end up, getting that game barely. Bengals, the Ravens are going to know what's at stake during that game. Lamar is not going to lose to a sophomore like that. No, he's going to know what's at stake. They're going to win that game. The Rams, I think it's going to be another interesting game. the Rams haven't been playing too well these past few weeks. I think Lamar could easily win that. Steelers, obviously, we know what's at stake there. I think the Ravens could easily win this.
Okay, so
anyway, keep going.
You think Patriots and then Ravens?
Yes.
Okay, then who?
Patriots and then Ravens. And I'm gonna go ahead and just put the Titans there, even though the Colts could end up winning there. I think both those teams.
I thought you just picked the Colts to overtake them.
I think both those teams are going to make the playoffs, but it's a toss up in terms of who's going to get that.
Okay, division. But you would guess it would be the Titans.
Yeah, maybe the Titans because they're already 8-4. It's going to be easy for them. So I'll pick them as number 3. Number 4, Chiefs. Okay, number 4, Chiefs. And then 5. Yeah, I'm going with the Chargers. I'm going with the Chargers for number 5. In terms of 6, I'm going with the Colts for 6. Okay.
Okay. So then either you have Bills or Bengals in for the last spot?
No, actually I don't. I'm gonna take a leap of faith. Okay. I'm gonna take a leap of faith. Even though they haven't been playing well this season, I still have confidence in the players and the team and the quarterback who has tremendous experience. I'm picking the Steelers as that last seed.
No. Yes. Don't do that to yourself.
I'm picking the Steelers as that last seed. The Bengals aren't going to make it.
Bro, what? You don't think Bengals or Bills make it?
No, they're not going to make it.
Wait, okay.
Surprise people.
I don't know if that could happen.
Dude, do you see the Steelers schedule? They have to play Chiefs and Ravens.
Yeah, the Chiefs.
How can the Steelers make the playoffs and the Ravens get the number 2 seed if they both play each other?
how many times they play each other?
I don't know if that could work.
That's not even. I don't even know if that's mathematically possible.
Okay, look, Vikings, Titans, Chiefs, Browns, Ravens.
Okay, so
they just play the Ravens once.
Okay? They could beat Vikings. They could beat Titans. They could beat Browns.
Okay. They just beat the Ravens this past week. Okay, and Vikings will beat them. Titans, like Jared said, they're trending downwards. They could easily beat them.
Yep.
Chiefs, it's going to be a good game. They can win that easily. The Browns, they can win that. Great. So look, I think they could win 4 of the 5 and make it.
So
I think they can win.
Who's on the edge on the bubble that won't make it? So that would be Titans. That would be Bengals. That would be.
No, he has Titans in. He doesn't have Bills or Bengals in.
Oh, yeah, so the Bills and the Bengals are going to be right on that bubble.
Yeah, exactly. The Bills and Bengals. It's going to be close, but the Bengals are going to forgo their 7-5 and lose like the next 3 or 4 games.
All right. So John, you're the only one left that hasn't said your standing. So
okay, I'm just I don't know what you guys are thinking, but
you got to gather yourself after those 2.
I know. I need to bring myself back to earth because you guys are just crazy. Jonathan, every time we go through the schedules, you're like, that's going to be a good game, but they could win that easily. The Steelers can beat the Chiefs easily.
Yeah, the Chiefs haven't been tremendous this season. It's definitely possible.
Not easily.
If you're a player and you know what's on the line, you go 1,000 times harder.
Yeah, but so do the Chiefs.
You coach 1,000 times harder. You put all your plays out there, right? You put all your plays. Whether it's trick plays or whatever, you're gonna coach your best. You're gonna play your best.
Trust me, the Steelers have zero chance to beat the Chiefs. But okay. Anyway, number 1 seed, I'm gonna take the Patriots.
Okay.
Number 2 seed, I'm gonna take the Chiefs. Then at number 3. I'm going to take the Bengals.
Are you serious? The Bengals is number 3?
I think the Bengals win their division, and you don't think they make the playoffs. So one of us is really wrong. Anyway.
I have the Bengals at 3. So it's
you guys have kind of
okay. So far, Jared and I have the same, right? Patriots, Chiefs, so Bengals.
Then you're
Jared, you had Bengals number 3?
Bengals 3. They go 11-6.
You guys.
Okay. So Patriots, Chiefs, Bengals, Titans at 4.
Yep. Okay. Now I want to hear this.
Now 5 is Bills.
Okay.
6, is Chargers.
Okay.
7 is Ravens. I think the 7 teams that are in right now make it, but in a different order. I don't trust Wentz, guys. I don't know why you trust Wentz. Maybe you're just being biased because you like Jonathan Taylor and the run game, but if Wentz has to throw the ball to win, I'm sorry. If Wentz has to throw the ball to win, which he's going to have to do against the Patriots and Cardinals, he can't do it. I don't know. He's just not good.
I trust Wentz more than I trust Burrow.
Burrow is
what? Where was he last game?
Bro,
nowhere
what?
to be found. Nowhere to be found.
Where was Wentz when he lost?
Well, I think the thing with the Colts is that I don't think Wentz needs to have a great throwing game.
Exactly.
No, against 300 yards
against the Patriots, against the Cardinals. You don't think Kyler Murray is going to put up 30 points?
Well, they can put up 30 points. They're number one in the last 3 games.
No, 30, actually,
34 points.
No, that's
game.
when they're because most of their points are when they're ahead.
No, they're not going to put.
Okay, then they're going to
put up 30 points because the Colts are going to run the clock just like the Patriots did. That's the beauty of the running a game.
Okay,
if you get running, you can run the clock. The offense.
The Patriots have a bye this week, and they have a whole 2 weeks to game plan for the Colts. You don't think they're going to shut down the run game?
They can game
Bill
plan
Belichick's going to examine this tape like he's never examined tape before. He's like, this is one of the best run games I've ever played.
The beautiful thing about having the number one run game is that it opens up the pass game. So while you can try,
but not for Wentz. Taylor, you need a better quarterback than Wentz, though.
I mean, how good do you need him to be to throw to freaking Michael Pittman?
Maybe you just need like Daniel Jones at least.
What? Okay.
Michael Pittman has had a good season. T.Y. Hilton has had a decent season. I think.
Okay, here's what's going to happen. Patriots are going to play them, and they're going to play one high safety. They're going to put J.C. Jackson on Pittman, and on third downs, they're just going to cover Pittman because that's Wentz's first read on third down every time. So all they have to do is stop first and second down for Taylor. Colts are going to have the worst third down percentage in the league on that day that they play the Patriots.
I don't think that game's going to come down to X's and O's. It's going to come down to execution. I think Colts are going to execute the line of scrimmage. They're going to outweigh the Patriots defensive line and they're just going to outplay them. That's what's going to happen. There's no X's and O's to that. I think that's just domination. That's what's going to happen. The offensive line is too dominant. Jonathan Taylor's too good. They're going to give up a big play, a couple of big plays at least. I think it's going to be low scoring, but Colts are going to win.
So no one's got the Dolphins, huh?
No.
They could get it, but it's highly, it's not highly, but it's unlikely.
That would be
the ones I gave.
That would be a let's see, where do they finish?
They would have to win out.
That would be a 9-game win streak to end the season.
Yeah, they can't do that. Come on, guys.
Tua is he's been looking good. So maybe
they've played trash teams.
I'll be honest. I think I would put Ravens. So
wait, whoa. You're changing it?
No, I'm confident with that backup one is if the Dolphins lose, then the Ravens go in, which would mean that we wouldn't. Would me and you have the same? No,
because I think I have Bills over Chargers. Do you have Bills over Chargers?
I have them tied for that first spot, but they're in.
Oh, okay. Because I have Patriots. You don't have the
Colts making it,
right?
So I put the Colts in instead of the Titans. I'm
okay.
Good. Okay, so let's move on to the NFC. We got about 30 minutes left. We've talked about them for 30 minutes, so now we got 30 more minutes to talk about the NFC. This one's a little bit easier, in my opinion. The way
this one's harder.
I thought it was a little bit. As far as divisions go, I feel like
division's easier. Yeah,
everybody locked in. I think.
Let
me explain. Let me explain the divisions right now. So as it stands for the NFC, you have Cardinals at 1, Packers at 2, Bucs at 3, Cowboys at 4. And then with the 3 wildcard spots, it goes Rams, Washington, and 49ers. So for me personally, I looked at all 4 of those division leaders right now, and I say that's going to stay exactly how it is. There may be a switch between the Cardinals and the Rams, but I highly doubt that because I think the Rams, when they go into Arizona, I think they're going to lose to the Cardinals. Then they will lose the tiebreaker. It would be a lot for the Rams to take over in that division. So for me personally, I think everyone that's in the division lead right now stays. Do you guys all agree?
I agree.
Yeah, I think I agree as well. I think it stays in the same order: Cardinals, Packers, Bucks, Cowboys.
I don't.
Yeah.
Wait. Who do you think
Packers
overtakes
would be
him?
one. I think.
No, wait. How?
What do you mean?
How would they? The Cardinals would have to lose.
Well, they haven't played each other, right? They don't play each other.
Yeah, the Packers beat the Cardinals already.
Oh yeah, because I had the Packers and Cardinals and Bucks all at 13-4, but the Bucks never played the Packers, so I had the Packers won because they win the tiebreaker between the Cardinals.
How did the Cardinals lose 2 games?
I'll tell you. Hang on, let me look at their schedule.
You
So
think
they'll lose to the Colts.
you said you said they're going to beat the Rams.
Yeah, they'll lose to the Colts and the Cowboys.
Come on.
Because you got to think they're not going to care about that last game of the season. Which
What? Of course they're going to care.
no, they're not going to care.
Wait, who?
If they lose to the Colts and Cowboys, then they're going to care about the Seahawks game.
Yeah, I think the number 1 seed is going to go to the Bucs
What?
Oh,
Are you guys crazy?
for the NFC. Yeah, the
I
number
mean,
1 seed is
either
gonna
way,
go to the Bucs.
this could go on forever. But as far as
Yeah, look at the schedule, dude. Rams, Colts, Cowboys. Come on, they can
Who?
easily.
Oh,
The
Cardinals.
Cardinals. Yeah,
Buccaneers have the easiest schedule to finish. They play Bills, Saints, Panthers,
Exactly.
Jets, Panthers.
so
Yeah.
that order can flip flop however you want. But so keep going. You had Cardinals 1, then what?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I still have Cardinals, Packers, Bucks, Cowboys. I think it finishes the same as it is right now.
Okay, so Jonathan, what do you think for division?
I think that the 4 people will make it, but I think the Bucs. So Bucs, Packers. No. Sorry, Bucs, Cardinals, Packers, Cowboys, Rams. So I think we'll face the Rams.
Yeah, you guys should start actually watching tape for that because that's pretty much locked in.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Washington. Yeah, Washington's gonna get 6, and then the last seed. Yeah, it's gonna be
The last seed's tough.
Yeah, that's tough.
So
I was thinking the Eagles, but I think the 49ers.
So let me go through the bubble teams. The bubble teams right now are Eagles, Vikings, Panthers, Falcons, and Saints. And then I cut it off where the Giants, Bears, Seahawks, and Lions are. So
yeah,
for me, I honestly could cut out the Vikings, Panthers, Falcons, and Saints.
I could cut out Panthers and down. So I could cut out Panthers, Falcons, Saints. Panthers have to play the Bucs twice. They're not even going to win one of those, so they're out.
So even the Vikings lost to the Lions. Like, I can't trust them at all. I think it's down. That last spot is down to the 49ers and the Eagles.
Yeah.
Okay, but why does the Washington football team have the number 6 spot locked?
They've been really hot.
But look at their schedule. They play Cowboys. I think they're going to lose. I think they're going to lose both games to the Cowboys.
I disagree. I think they take one.
Okay,
they take one.
But what about the Eagles?
They can easily beat the Eagles. Wait, they play the Eagles twice, right?
Yeah,
correct. I think they take one of each, and they take the Giants, obviously. So that's
3-2.
That's 3-2. Correct.
That's okay. So that's 9-8.
Yeah, they made the 9-8. So I have the Rams going 11-6. I have Washington going 9-8. I have Eagles and 49ers also going 9-8. So
wait, how do you have the Eagles going 9-8 then?
The Eagles,
they beat the Cowboys and the Giants and split with Washington. They would have to do that.
Yeah, correct.
They got destroyed by the Cowboys 41-21 when they played last, just so you know.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago.
Okay. And then what about Vikings?
And I think they play the Cowboys last. So The Cowboys
Right.
aren't going to care because they already clocked their division. So they're not going to play any of their starters on the last game of the season. So they could easily play Hurts, and they're going to play against freaking Cooper Rush. And, because the Cowboys already locked their division already.
Well, not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but
well, because if they split with Washington, and then let's say if they lose to the Cardinals, then they're going to need that last game to stay ahead of Washington, I think.
Yeah, but I don't think so. I think that.
Okay, so do you have it? You have it exactly how it is. Wait, what about the Vikings though?
No, I don't like the Vikings.
Yeah, Cook is hurt. That hurts the team.
Well, what about they play Steelers this Thursday?
Anything could be a loss. I get, like, literally you could name the worst team, the Lions, and they lost to them. So like, I could not say confidently that they could beat any team. I could not say it. They have just proven that they lost to a winless team. I would have more confidence in the Eagles than the Vikings making it. Yeah. And that's why it's a toss-up with the last spot between the Eagles and the 49ers. They both go 9-8. Washington also goes 9-8. But I think it could mix up between there. But I think you could cut from the Vikings down. So Vikings, Panthers, Falcons, Saints, Giants, Bears, Seahawks, Lions, they're all out. I think this is a matter of Eagles, 49ers, and Washington battling for a playoff spot. That's why I said it was a little bit easier to pick than the AFC. You have a lot more teams at stake. I mean, if you're just going off of talent, 49ers would take that last spot. Because the Eagles.
Okay, I think 49ers get into the 6.
Yeah, I think that. Oh, it's
because
6.
Yeah, because Washington and the Eagles they play too many divisional games, which it's too hard to win those. Like it's too hard to win multiple of those games. So I think 49ers get into the 6th spot. So then for me, it's Washington
and Eagles.
I wouldn't count out the Vikings. I want to take a look at their schedule. Because if they could win this game against the Steelers, I think they're going to win this game on Thursday against the Steelers, which would be today. I think they beat the Steelers. They play the Bears twice. Let's say they win both of those. So now that's 3 wins. That's 8-7. But then they play Rams and Packers. All they would have to do at that point is win one of those games, right? To go 9-8.
Who do they play last?
The Bears.
Oh, okay.
But they already beat the Packers, and they're home against the Rams, and the Rams haven't been that good. And with Dalvin Cook, he'll be back by then. So I think for me, it's between Eagles, Washington, and Vikings for that last spot.
The Vikings are so talented that I wouldn't even argue it that the Vikings would make it, but they're so unlucky.
Yeah.
So unlucky. They just came off a loss.
Too many close games.
Too many close games. You lost to the Lions. I don't know what the morale is like in that locker room, but I imagine it's the lowest it's ever been. I think Zimmer is on the hot seat right now. He could get fired at any moment.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jonathan?
Yeah, I think I'm looking at the picture. I think the last 2, Washington and 49ers, it's gonna be both of those teams, but 49ers could get 6, Washington could get 7. But I think it's pretty much locked in for the NFC. This is looking pretty good on the NFC side.
Yeah. I think this is pretty much done for Eagles, 49ers, Washington. Those are probably switched, but
I think I just want to say that people just be careful about the Vikings before you count them out. They usually go on a run late and surprise people. They're always in this position. I think the Eagles, I don't really think they have much of a chance. Don't be surprised, though, if 49ers get 6 and Eagles sneak past Washington. I know it's crazy to say now because Vikings just lost to the Lions and Washington's on a pretty good win streak. But just keep an eye out for those Vikings. They had, their 2 linebackers out this past week. If they steal this game at home against the Steelers and then they get like 10, 11 days rest before they play the Bears. They might be able to get some of these defensive guys back. Maybe Thielen gets some rest and comes back, and Dalvin Cook gets back. So I would not be surprised at all. And honestly, I'll be bold. I'll be bold and say that it goes Rams, 49ers, Vikings, and Washington and Eagles don't get in.
And how many games do the Vikings have to win to?
Well, they're only one game behind Washington.
They'd have to win like 4.
They'd have to win 4. So I think they beat the Steelers. They beat the Bears twice. So they would just have to win either Rams or Packers, which Packers they already beat, but it is in Lambeau, so that's pretty tough. But they're at home against the Rams. I think they have a better chance to win that with their defensive guys coming back, Cook and Thielen coming back by then. I think they're gonna be able to get it done.
It's hard because on paper, when you look at the Vikings, they should be a top team.
Yeah,
right.
They should be.
But it just never translates to the game. It never does. I mean, I bet the 2 Bears games are going to be close games.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be coming down to a field goal.
It's going to go down to a field goal, and he's going to miss. Greg Joseph's going to miss. Well, all right, the NFC was a little bit more we agreed on the NFC. The AFC is still up for grabs, but anybody want to say anything more? Any more predictions for the NFC?
I mean, do we want to make any longer term predictions or
like beyond, like in the playoffs?
Yeah, like conference championships. Like, do we want to take a stab at it, or is it way too early?
I think it's too early. I mean, Jonathan will probably say Cowboys, so we don't want to look too far ahead yet. There's still a lot to sort out, especially in the AFC, because with we need to see like the Titans when Henry's going to come back. Yep. And things like that. Oh wait, Henry's not coming back.
Well, he definitely could by the end of the year.
Probably not. I wouldn't count on it.
I heard that was season ending.
He could make it back for playoffs. They said 6 to 10 weeks. So,
well, let's move on to our predictions, because these 2 games right off the bat could change the whole look of the NFC, whole look of the AFC. Just with 2 games, we got the Rams, Cardinals, and the Bills versus Bucs. So with the first one, the Rams versus the Cardinals, the last time they faced off, the Cardinals smoked the Rams in their own stadium in Los Angeles. And now you have Kyler Murray, who is back. He played really, really well against the Bears. It was his first game back. He looked pretty good. Now he moves on, and he hopefully is fully healthy, because he has to play a great Rams defense. In Arizona, I like the Cardinals in this. I think they have a little bit more momentum going into this game. The Rams, I feel like, are still trying to figure out chemistry-wise their whole team. OBJ got another touchdown. That looks good. I think integrating Von Miller into the defense, because it hasn't looked that good. It's still going to take some time, but I think the Cardinals win this one in Arizona.
Yeah, I agree. The Cardinals are going to win this. Matthew Stafford is not 100%. If you can tell, he has back issues. I think somebody said his ankle. There's a lot of different stuff going on with him. He's not 100%, but he's an Iron Man. He doesn't miss much games, and so he's always going to play. But he's not 100%. So I think the Rams offense, like Jared said, they're still trying to figure themselves out. OBJ, like Jared said, got a touchdown, but still, I think the chemistry is not there. They don't look dangerous like they have in previous years, honestly. The Cardinals, they're looking hot. Kyler Murray came back. He was questionable, but I had him in fantasy. I didn't play him because I thought he was still going to be a little limpy, but he looked really good. He was rushing the ball well, throwing it well. And so, the Cardinals have impressed me this season. Really hot offense. I think they're going to win this game.
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys. I think the Cardinals are going to win. And Jared, I think you hit it on the head. Like, you could just watch the Rams and the chemistry is not right. Like, they spent this past week trying to get Odell the ball more, trying to get Van Jefferson the ball. and they used the run game. And then against the Jaguars, they kind of got back to Cooper Kupp a little bit. He had over 100 yards and a touchdown, but they know they could always go back to Cooper Kupp when they need. So they're trying, not necessarily forcing, but a little bit. They're trying to force the ball. I think McVay is trying to get Stafford and Odell and Van Jefferson on the same page so that when it comes time for playoffs, if a team decides to double Cooper Kupp, that he has chemistry with some other players. So I still think they're trying to figure that out. And against one of the league's best pass defenses in the Cardinals, I don't think it's going to go very well. I think it's going to be similar to the first game, but since it's a primetime Monday game, maybe more of a 27-17 win for the Cardinals.
Okay, so we swept the board. Cardinals. That's usually not a good sign. That usually means the other team wins. Let's move on to Bills and Bucs in Tampa. I believe this is the first meeting between the Bucs and Bills this season. So,
Yep.
Bills coming off a tough, brutal played game against the Patriots, and the Buccaneers, I believe they beat the Falcons last week. I'm going to be honest, this is no brainer. If the Bucs don't win this, I mean, the Bills are about as low as they can be right now. I feel like they are questioning themselves, questioning how they could be 7-5. Like, to think that this team made the playoffs, won their division, and now they are not leading their division. They're 7-5. I feel like they thought they were going to easily win their division and they wouldn't even think about a wild card spot. And now they might not even make the playoffs. I think this is a serious turning point. If they could win this game, it would flip the tide and all the talk would be, back in the right direction. But after that Patriots game, I think it's going to take a little bit more time for them to gather themselves and get ready and start winning some games. This is not the game you want after losing to the Patriots. You do not want to play Tom Brady in a bounce back game. He's not gonna let it happen. So I got Bucs over the Bills in Tampa.
Yeah, I completely agree. Look, Tom Brady, the thing I love about him, he's a big picture thinker. He's looking at the last 5 games. And he's like, look, we need that 1 seed. So, we got to basically win out. I'm going to make sure we win out so we can get that 1 seed because it's very important because the NFC is competitive. We may face the Packers or even the Cardinals in the first round. No, we can't have that. So he wants this win. Tom Brady wants this win, believe me. And so with that being said, I think the Bucs are definitely going to come into play and beat the Bills. Like Jared said, the Bills just came off a upset loss. Well, not upset, but they came off a tough loss that really, I think that really shocked them because again, if you look at the season, the beginning of the season, they were like, hey, we're probably going to win the division, probably make the playoffs again, maybe AFC championship again. Right. But now the Patriots are back and we're really vying for a wild card spot. And so they're in a tough position. And I think the coach is on a hot seat, honestly. McDermott's on a hot seat. With this talent, you can't make the playoffs. He's on a hot seat. And I think you're gonna start to see that these next few games. And the team is gonna make bad decisions. They're gonna basically choke the last few games, I think. So this game, yeah, I think the Bucs are definitely gonna beat the Bills. They may even dominate the Bills. I wouldn't be surprised if they beat them like 31-10. So yeah, I agree. The Bucs are gonna win this.
One more thing, Jonathan. Last year, what did the Bucs do? The last 5 games, John, you actually predicted it last year. Bucs, the last 5 games, they win all 5. Then they go to the playoffs and then they sweep and go to win the Super Bowl. So they won 9 straight games to end out the year. So this is what he does. This is what he does best.
Yeah, so, he knows he wants the easiest path because he wants another Super Bowl. He's like, what can get us the easiest path? We have to win out. He's like, the Bills, they can easily be defeated. The Saints, Panthers. He's like, it's not a question. We have to win out if we want to have an easier path to regain our championship status and defend our title. So,
all right. So 2 for the Bucs. I'm assuming 3 for the Bucs, right, John?
I do think the Bills are going to win this game.
Whoa.
There's a little bias there, isn't there?
No, I'm usually not biased, you know that. But I think people are going to be surprised if the Buccaneers win this game. I think it's going to be a field goal at best. But okay, how do you beat the Buccaneers? You throw the ball. You can't run on them, right? You can't run on the Bucs. You just can't. So what do the Bills do? They can't run the ball at all. So they're going to drop back. If they had 10 rush attempts, okay, if their running backs, Moss, Singletary, and Breida combined for 10 rush attempts, I would be shocked. I think they're gonna pass the ball a lot. I think Josh Allen needs to be in your fantasy lineups. And I think the Bills can come away with this win. I know it's in Tampa Bay, but I think everybody's sleeping on the Bills. The Patriots, beat them, and they beat them pretty bad, pretty embarrassingly with only 3 pass attempts. I think the Bills are going to take it to heart, and they're going to be like, all right, we just lost 2 games. We cannot lose another game. We're not losing this game to Tom Brady. And the Bills' strength is the pass defense. And Brady has Gronk, Godwin, Evans.
Well, without Tre'Davious White,
I know that's a little concerning. He is out for the year, torn ACL, which is bad. But I still think they can get the job done. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. And I think the reason I think the Bills are going to win is because I think they got embarrassed by the Patriots with only 3 pass attempts. And I think they're going to come out with more fire, and they're going to be like, okay, we're done. Like, everybody's doubting us. Let's show people that we have a good defense. And then, not to mention the offense, I know is going to score 25 points, 25.
The Bills?
Josh Allen against the Buccaneers secondary. Their secondary is trash. The way to beat the Bucs is to throw the ball. So, yes.
It's towards the end of the season, like Jared was saying. And so Tom Brady's probably having a team meeting. Guys, this needs to happen. We have to win out these last 5 games. You can't give up big plays like that. You can't get beat on go routes or anything like that. We gotta lock down like we did last year.
Do you think he's like planting a chip in their head to like be like, we will win these next 5 games?
Well, I don't know if you guys watched the game last night, the Manning cast. Did y'all watch that?
Yeah.
So one of the things Peyton was saying, or Aqib Talib was saying, he's saying that Peyton Manning, the thing about him, he had sort of a manual where if you're a player and you play with him, then, if you screw up, you're going to get chewed out, and like, he's always so serious. Like, you feel so bad messing up because he's going to make you feel bad, right? Because he has that winning mentality. He wants to win, and he doesn't want anybody holding him back. That's the same thing with Tom Brady. He's like, believe me, his teammates know it's time to win. It's time to win out. If they're the reason if they're the reason he loses or ends up being close or whatever, they could easily get cut the next year, right? Because he basically helps recruit these players, right? And so I think the fear will help these defensive backs on the Bucs play better. The defense will play better, I think. And there's a lot on the line, even though they're way ahead in their division. Believe me, they want to go to the Super Bowl again. This is the easiest path. You have to get a first-round bye if you're the Bucs.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a turning point right now, and the Bills, if they can pull off this win, it will show everybody, and I think it will show themselves that, like, okay, we're still the Bills that were last year. We're the Bills that could win the division. We're the Bills that can make the playoffs. But I think there's a lot of doubt, and there's a lot of, I don't know, worrisome about the Bills right now. Like, I would have never thought. I think before the season, I don't know if we did a prediction, but I would have bet that all of us had the Bills easily winning. Maybe Jonathan, you probably had Patriots because you've been on them for a while, but I had no vision that a rookie Mac Jones would be leading the division. And I think in the locker room for the Bills, they're like, what is going on? We're 7-5 in the wild card spot, not even winning our own division. We have the Bucs coming up. So it's either put up or shut up.
Exactly. That's why they're going to win.
But they have to do that in the locker room. I don't know if after a demoralizing loss like they did against the Patriots, that's going to be tough to come back from so quickly. Like in 1 week, you have to gather the troops together and say, look, that's in the past now. It's over. We have Tom Brady and the Bucs coming up. We can immediately put ourselves right back in the division race and back into the playoff race with one win, and it can shut everybody up. What's the best way to get rid of a bad loss is to win the next game. If they can win the next game, then they can kind of breathe, resettle, get back on track, and reinstill some hope in the Bills locker room and in the Bills fan base.
Honestly, I don't think that's going to happen. And it's not because Josh Allen sucks or the team sucks or anything. This has to do with the coaching. You came from the AFC championship game last year to struggling this season to make the playoffs. Honestly, so far, what I've seen this season, they're going to lose. They're going to lose. There's no way McDermott has a good game strategy to beat the Bucs. There's no way. If this was the Patriots, I'd probably say something different because of Bill Belichick. But this coach, he's not on the same level as Andy Reid, Bill Belichick, even Doug Peterson. He's not in the NFL, but he was still a good coach. This guy's not on the same level. That's why they're struggling.
But what I will say, and this is part of the reason why I think they're going to bounce back, is we're going into week 14, right? Since week 5, the Bills have won every other game. So week 5, they played the Chiefs. They won. Week 6, Titans. Week 7, they had a bye. And then they played the Dolphins and they won. Jaguars lost. Beat the Jets. Lost to the Colts. Beat the Saints. Lost to the Patriots.
What the heck?
That means they have a loss. And then the coach is like, we got to win this game. And then they go out and win. And then they're like, all right, we're good. And then they lose. And then they're like, we got to win this game. And then they win. And then they're like, oh, we're back again. And then they lose. And I think the trend continues. I think the coach is like, we got to win this game. And they're like, oh, okay. And then I think they're not going to lose the next game to the Panthers. But anyway, I think they're going to bounce back. Nobody wants to get embarrassed twice in a row. So they're going to play their hearts out.
It will be close. I mean, I think me saying that the Bucs would destroy the Bills, I think that's, I'm just exaggerating. Yeah. The Bills have everything on the line. They are going to fight until the very, very end.
Exactly.
No matter what. But the better team's going to come out on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bills.
They're going to get out coached. That's going to be a big thing. They're going to get out coached. Believe me, there's a strategy that Bruce Arians.
No, actually,
Tom Brady helps.
I think you're right about that. I think the Bucs are going to be out coached in this game. Okay, what do you do if you're Brady though? Because the Bucs have a really good pass defense, but they've been gashed on the ground. So do you just give it to Fournette, or do you try to throw it? Because Brady, against the Falcons, he was doing really good throwing it.
Wait, you say the Bills have a good pass defense?
Yeah, and their run defense got gashed the last 2 games.
I mean, Fournette had 4 touchdowns the other day, so it's like you could run it, you could pass it. You could go anywhere you want. You want the air, you want the ground.
Well, there's always a way to be successful in the passing. He's probably not going to do much deep balls. There's probably like quick outs or quick passes that will that they can do and mix it up with the running game. But I think he's still going to pass it. Tom Brady, he's going to be able to mix it up. And believe me, he has a game plan to attack the Bills.
I don't know. I'm worried that Brady's going to throw a couple interceptions in this game. Godwin set a franchise record this past week in catches, 15 catches. Brady's going to, if they try to run the ball, they might get embarrassed because the Bills are going to make sure that the Bucs can't run the ball in this game. They're not going to get embarrassed like that. So I think if the Bucs come out with a run-heavy game plan, I think they're going to lose this game.
Yeah, you're going to see long drives from the Bucs. You're going to see long drives.
Oh, so you think they're going to be able to run it, churn it out?
Yeah, they're going to be able to do everything. Dude, you're forgetting. This is Tom Brady. There's always an answer. On offense, there's always an answer. You can't stop him. And the defense, the way they've been playing, he's been watching, just like Bill Belichick. He's the same like him. He's going to watch the Jags. He's going to watch the Colts game. He's going to watch all these games they got annihilated, and he's going to have a game plan, and it's going to be easy for him.
What about you can't forget about the games that they won.
Yeah, he'll look at that too. But look, if you get annihilated with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, that's it. They're going to be able to cash.
They got annihilated by the Jags.
By the Colts.
That's an annihilation.
Well, you still lost like the Jags are the Jags. So if you
Yeah,
lose them,
true.
that's the issue. So Tom Brady, he's a plan. I'm telling you, they're gonna win.
It sucks that if you're the Bills and you get back into the locker room after the Patriots game and it was freaking 0 degrees out there and you just lost, close game. Like, we can bounce back. Who do we got next, coach? The Bucs and Tom Brady. It's like,
Exactly.
Oh, we really have to get stuff situated in 1 week.
And don't be surprised if one of the Bills players, maybe their defensive players, if they retire during halftime. This has happened before the Bills.
If they what?
This has happened before. If they retire, if one of the players retires during halftime.
Who did that?
Davis.
For that.
They're like,
oh my gosh, yeah, I remember.
I can't do it, coach. This team sucks. No, we can't say that. All right.
Look, it's all love for the Bills fans, but I'm just saying the facts.
It has never been all love for the Bills fans.
Yeah, come on.
I don't think you've said one nice thing besides Josh Allen's okay.
No, look, Josh Allen, he's pretty good.
See?
He's pretty good. But
I've
said that.
I'll know if you're lying if you say the answer to this. Who's better, Josh Allen or Dak Prescott?
Okay, come on, Dak Prescott. We know.
Okay, so you're lying. So yep, you're not nice to the Bills still.
No, I would agree Dak's better than Josh, but we can't keep getting into this. All right, so we're gonna wrap this up because this could go on for ages. So that's a wrap on the playoff podcast. If you guys enjoyed, you can leave a like and hit subscribe. We're on our way to 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. Go follow us over on TikTok and on Instagram at Dorm Debate Podcast. John will be doing his live show, his TikTok live at noon Eastern Standard Time until 12:45. I also will put a link down in the description for our Patreon where you can sign up for fantasy football advice from John. You could do $1 a week, $3 a week, or $5 a week to get more personalized content from John. And as always, John's fantasy football show will be premiering Saturday morning this week. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, we just hit 140,000 followers. What are we at?
146.
146,000 followers on TikTok. Absolutely nuts. Crazy. Thank you guys so much. And thank you guys so much for listening. If you're on Apple Podcasts, if you're on Spotify, Alexa Media Player, thank you so much. Hopefully this wasn't too confusing of an episode to listen to since we were just listing off teams and records. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. And we will see you guys next week for week 15. Thanks, guys.